Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to give you a 3-month review of my Luba all-wheel drive 5000 in case you were thinking of purchasing it. I know for myself, when I was thinking about buying a high dollar item like this, I tend to go on and I look for all the reviews, the pros and the cons, and that helps me make the decision if I'm going to pull the trigger and open my wallet. You can see my other videos I've uploaded about the Luba, such as the unboxing, basic setup, things like that, any sort of struggles that I've had, and see how I've been doing so far. But this is my 3-month recap. So, a little back history. I had been struggling with my Troy-built tractor for a few seasons before thinking of purchasing this Luba. And I also live in Southwest Florida, and during the summertime, cutting the grass is a real toll with the heat, and it's unbearable sometimes. Originally I was thinking about purchasing an Ego battery zero-turn mower that they offer. My thought was that the zero-turn would probably cut my cutting time down, and I'd spend less time out in the yard and everything would look nice with the nice neat lines. And that's when I started seeing robot mowers. Most of the mowers I saw were the standard ones you would think about with a robot mower. They required trenching of the signal wire, and that did not look fun at all. I was considering even purchasing one of those, and that is when I stumbled upon the Luba. So here are my pros and cons for the all-wheel drive 5000. This is the unit that I purchased. It was not a gift, it was not a promotional review item or anything like that. But I will put a link to the unit that I bought on Amazon in the description below. Pro number 1. I don't have to cut the grass anymore. Just let that sink in. I know that's kind of obvious, but that is a big thing. I would spend hours on the weekends outside sweating just to get a decent cut, and it didn't look that great. Pro number 2. I didn't have to trench a signal wire. With the software that Motion offers for the Luba, it sets a digital perimeter. Therefore, no trenching, no wires to cut, anything like that. Pro number 3. It cuts straight lines and it doesn't bounce all around my yard like a Roomba. I know that's not a huge pro, but for me personally, I prefer that look because now I know it's going to go up and down single lines and it's not going to miss anything. If it bounced around in the yard all day, I feel like it missed something. It allows you to create a schedule to auto cut. So everything allows you to do schedules, it seems like these days. You can set up your dishwasher to do an automatic schedule, your washing machine, but it's nice to know that you can set up your yard to have on a regular schedule for what time of day and what day to get out there and do it. Pro number 5. When it's cutting, it will stop around 15% battery and it will return to the charger. It'll charge up and then it'll continue the job. So I don't have to worry about the unit being fully charged and then going and getting the job cut before the battery dies. Pro number 6. It has a rain sensor to stop cutting in the rain and continues after. This is a big thing because the unit doesn't really cut that well in the rain. I mean, what does cut well in the rain? It'll always turn into a clumpy, nasty mess. So it's nice that it has this feature to be smart enough to return to the base and wait until it's done raining. Pro number 7. It has no difficulty climbing up to a 37-degree hill. Doesn't sound like much, especially me being in Florida, but we do have these little swales, these little culverts in front of all of our houses because everybody's house is built on a mound so we don't flood. So it's really nice to know that it can go up and down these without any issue. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There are some cons. So here are my top cons on this item. Number 1, price. This was an expensive item. And if you look at this item and you think it's not expensive, you're better off for it. Go buy one. But this was a big purchase for us. But when you do compare that to a zero-turn, it wasn't so bad, considering I'd have to still sit on the zero-turn and it would take up my time. Con number 2, speed. Now you can adjust the cutting speed using a custom cut option, but if I left this on the default fine cut selection, it would take 14 hours to cut my large side yard. And you have to keep in mind that every 3 hours it has to charge for 2 hours before it can go back to work. So therefore that 14 hours turns into about 24 hours, and remember, we can't cut at night. So speed really does come into account. Now I could chop up my large yard into multiple zones so it could do a fine cut, but then the patterns wouldn't match, and now I'm just talking about first world problems here. Con number 3, the battery. Now it does come with a 10 amp hour battery, and I wish it lasted longer than it does. I feel like the battery, since it doesn't last as long, it should be replaceable or upgradable. And the battery it's in the unit. There's no way to get to the battery. It's not a removable battery. So if the battery does ever fail, I guess I'd have to either break into the unit myself or send it back for an upgrade. Con number 4, lawn tear out and rescue. Now all the other cons have been more of an inconvenience, they were a bother, but this one is a big bug. Occasionally, Luba will get stuck in my yard and confused. When this happens, always in the same spots, of course, the Luba will turn and continue to run. The wheels will dig into the soft sandy lawn and tear up the grass. I don't know why it happens. I think maybe the Luba is too far away from the base station or the RTK, and it's a dead zone. That's my thought. I'm not sure. I know it does happen one place near a perimeter line, and I might be able to adjust that perimeter line. So my solution right now is I'm going to get some pieces of sod and drop those where all the sand is, and hopefully that makes the ground a little richer and packs it down, and then I won't have that turning issue. Con number 5, limited accessories. Now I have a gated yard because I have a dog, and I know there are other robot mowers and aftermarket companies that make gates for the mowers to go through that lock and unlock as the unit passes to keep your pets in the yard and allows the mower to do the job. But so far, Luba only has accessories that are replacement blades, RTK caps, waterproofing, some poles, and a garage that costs $200. But don't spend $200. I have a video out there I'll show you where I did it for like $40 from Amazon. Alright, my final thoughts on the mower. I've been very pleased with this during the past few months, and I feel like it's the right fit for me. Even with the few hiccups along the way, this unit has saved me so many hours that I would have otherwise spent mindlessly listening to Sturgill Simpson on a Saturday with my earbuds, and now I have time to focus on my other hobbies like woodworking. And here's a terrible plug, but if you haven't seen it yet, check out the video I have on making some great countertops out of 2x10s for my man cave. Seriously though, this unit is not a silver bullet. It is not going to be your one-all catch-all for your lawn needs. You are still going to have to fire up that trimmer and go out there and clean up any of the no-go zones or around a fence line. And that's what I'm doing, and I have to do it still. I do it every 3 to 4 weeks. I'll go out there and I'll trim my fence and I'll trim the 40 palms. But even with all of that, it still only takes me about 30 to 45 minutes, and that's not that bad. If you're like me and you have a tractor and you're tired of the tractor making those wide turns whenever you have to go around your yard, and you're considering buying a zero turn, and you have about an acre of property, I would strongly recommend that you look into this robot to take over the mantle of your lawn management. Like I said, be aware of what you're getting though. You may have some issues starting up, but really, it'll save you so much time. I know some people are die-hard into my lawn, I have to care for it, that's what you do. And maybe if that's what you do, don't get this. But if you like your yard and you want to do other things on the weekend, look into it. It's worth it. Well, let me know in the comments below if you guys have any questions about the Luba or my setup or what I'm doing. And as always, I really appreciate everybody watching my videos, and if you can, hit that subscribe button. I will try to get new videos at least once a week. And thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it.